I thought I'd take you through a little bit of my getting ready routine because I really want to record a video, but this mess is killing me, so I gotta get a haircut. Alright, it's shower time, but you don't get to see that. Okay, so got my hair cut, so definitely feel like more of a human being now, so now we can actually start. Silamat siang, brothers and sisters, or perhaps silamat pagi or silamat sone, depending on what time of day you're watching this. Welcome to Mission Zero and episode 14 of The Word with Friends. So before we get started today, I want to give a major shout out to Cody Wanner and really the entire No Small Creator movement. On Friday, Cody was featured in the trending tab on YouTube as the up-and-coming channel of the day, and that is huge. I mean, that's super awesome for him and really for the entire group. And so Cody, deepest congratulations, man, and I know you are gonna keep this momentum and just knock it out of the park. And that's super awesome, and the entire community is behind you, and we love you, and deepest congratulations, brother. I want it to be sort of upbeat, so I came to another place that's kind of beautiful. Okay, so I said last week that what I wanted to talk about was the word sin. So let's start off with a real quick word study. So the English word sin comes from the Latin word sons, and sons meant guilty. That's just all wrapped around the idea, right, of what we all know as sin. But the idea of sin came from the Judeo-Christian religion, so let's look at what sin actually means in the Bible. The English word sin appears in the modern version of the King James Bible 634 times. 215 of those are in the New Testament. The remaining 419 are in the Old Testament. Let's start with the Greek. In the New Testament, there are 4 different words that are rendered as the English word sin. 3 of them are actually just variations of the first word. So let's talk about what that main word is, and that word is hamartia. Now, hamartia is rooted in it's a noun, and it's rooted in a verb, hamartos. And hamartos is made up of 2 other Greek words. The first word is alpha, and alpha in Greek really denotes the negative of whatever follows it. So it's like not. And the second word is meros. And meros means to receive as an allotment. You think like in your inheritance. This is, you receive something as your inheritance. So then if hamartos is to not get your inheritance, then hamartia is the thing that keeps you from getting your inheritance. And that sort of matches up, right? When any of the apostles or even Jesus were talking about the word sin in the New Testament, what they were talking about is the thing that robs you of your inheritance of the kingdom of heaven. Hang on to that thought because it's going to come up later, so just sort of stash that away and let's talk about the Hebrew has 10 different words that are rendered sin, and really they're chopped into kind of 5 ideas. 5 of those words really revolve around the Hebrew word chet, and chet is to miss the mark. And so it's literally, the image there is of an archer or a slinger who's trying to hit a target and they miss the target, okay? So that's chet. Now there is also shaga, probably my favorite. It means to swerve, right? It's to dodge a thing. It's to know what you're supposed to do, but skirt around the edges of that, okay? Then there is avon, which means to pervert or distort. So this is to take a truth that you know and bend it into something else. There is asham, and asham means to trespass. So this is an interesting idea because asham is really the idea that it's either voluntary or involuntary, right? This is like you You say to somebody, boy, you sure are putting on the weight. That's trespassing into their business. The last idea is pasha, rebellion. And so this is knowing what you're supposed to do, but willfully rebelling against it. Okay, so I've given you 14 words. What could you possibly have to learn from any of that? Well, first off, I wanted to establish that as a context, just so there's no glossolalia. When I'm talking about sin, I'm talking about these kind of core 6 ideas: to rebel, to pervert, to circumvent, to swerve around, to trespass, to miss the mark, and then the stealing away of your inheritance. The second reason that that matters to you, in my opinion, is the division there. Think about it. To miss the mark, that's not necessarily intentional, but it can still get you killed. If you're a slinger in battle and you aim at your enemy and you miss, well, it's not a conviction of you, but you may well get killed as a result of that. Trespassing, like I said, not necessarily purposeful, not necessarily willful, but it causes issues in other people, right? It causes other people to stumble. But then you have sort of this other slice, the slice of to pervert or to circumvent or to rebel against, and those are absolutely willful acts. Those are things that you choose to do. The important thing there is that the Hebrews separated these two classes of thing, right? There's the accidental and there's the purposeful. Greek has no use for such petty distinctions. Greek is a very utilitarian language. I say this all the time. They had the one word, hamartia, and hamartia just is anything that can take away your inheritance. Well, that is a significantly harsher idea than sin in the Old Testament ever really meant. So there's a lot of people out there that will claim that the Old Testament God was like venge and wrath and brimstone, but he talked about a much more complex set of motivations for people in the New Testament. Things were considerably more legalistic. Think of the people that were writing the New Testament and the people that were talking, right? Even Jesus. These people grew up in the Pharisaical order of Judaism. It was all about legalism. It was hot dog, not hot dog, right? It was you are in or you are out. But what God says, and in fact, if you really listen, what Jesus said has much more distinction than that. The motivations that we have are incredibly important to each other, right? If I sin against you, it matters if I intended to or not. It matters if the intent of my heart was to hurt you or was just absent-mindedness. And so what is this idea of sin? What is the purpose of this? What's the point of it? Sin is about correction. It's about opportunity to grow. It's about opportunity to do better for ourselves and for each other. So many times, sin is really just glossolalia. It's just misunderstanding. We owe it to each other to push through something so simple as guilt and seek the connectedness, seek the grace between each other. All right, so that does it for my message for today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, please like it and share it so other people can enjoy it. If you have not already subscribed, click subscribe and smash the bell to get notified when I post new videos. We will be back tomorrow with a new blog post and something a little special on the video front. And on Friday, I will be back with another Flashback Friday. And next week, we are going to discuss the word pride. So hope you'll tune in for all of that. And I love you and God bless you and may God pour out blessings upon you. And I love you and peace out.